Hello everybody, this is sOo here yet again with another cast. It is going to be another Terran versus Terran because that's the name of the game, I guess. It is going to be between the red Terran player spawning in the bottom right of Ruins of Ceres. It is going to be sOo with the little s2Mc. What does that actually say? StarCraft 2 Miracle something? Miracle Clan. Okay. And it is going to be me, spawning in the top left as the blue Terran, sOo. I mean, it's kind of redundant, I said me and whatever. Anyway, going to be going for a gas first. My opponent also going to be going for a gas first. So, on Ruins of Ceres, I've said it before, but Reapers can't jump up into the main base very easily because of these little doodads right here and right here. You have to do a little dual jump as well, so you can't actually jump anywhere along this cliff. You have to go around, jump up this cliff, and then you have to run up the ramp. So Reaper's not very good on this map. I did see Speed go for it versus Reality, I think. But yeah, I really don't like Reapers on this map. Going to be going for an early scout with my SCV. I'm doing a gas first place, so I want to eventually do some sort of dropping, probably. That's what I have been doing anyway recently. Going to be starting a marine, starting up this factory, just repositioning it so it's directly under the barracks there. Reaper is going to be coming out for our opponent. I mean, I don't like it on this map, but they're still great for scouting out where your opponent is spawning. Also can scout to see if your opponent is going for a command center on the low ground as well, like my opponent is doing. And I thought he went for gas first, right? So let's see what he decides to do with his... Oh, he's just going to be going for double Reaper. That's really interesting. So, going to be patrolling around the top of the ramp with these Marines, just to defend against the Reapers. And in the meantime, my SCV is going to be coming. Do I actually see that he expanded? Yes, I did. So, on some of these maps, man, if you just scout directly around, like going in this direction, your SCV will be so close to this edge that you won't actually get vision of if they expanded or not, so you have to make sure that you go into that area so you know what your opponent's doing. My Marines are going to be positioned right here because again that's where the Reapers would jump up. But in the meantime, going to be getting a Widowmine. My starport it's going to be coming up as well here. Stopped SCV production and then tried to resume it. Oh, I'm supply blocked, that's why. What can you do, man? Not that great at this game. So, my Widowmine is going to be coming down. What is on the map right now? It is just going to be an SCV. So he's pretty much just getting these Reapers for defense here. Not completely sure the thought process behind that. Probably just because Reapers are really good and they can throw down grenades, possibly do a lot of damage to the opponent. My opponent sOo is going to be going for a bunker at the top of the ramp here. The only two units that can actually fit into it now, okay, well now he has a couple of Marines, is getting up a tank and a starport. Been seeing a lot of Terran players going for a early Cyclone nowadays, just because they are so good against like Banshees. They can focus down the medevacs if they come in very easily. They're just great overall defensive units, but when it gets into like the later game, like when you have to deal with siege tanks, they're pretty worthless. In the meantime, I did finish my medevac, and it does have the Widowmine and a few Marines inside of it. Going to be boosting here now. My opponent is going to be going for a Liberator. It looks like I'm following up with Cloak and should be getting a Banshee. A Banshee? Oh, okay, I'm supply blocked. That would explain it. I'm getting so supply blocked. Okay, anyway. Going to be going into the main base. And here comes the Widowmine. And he does have a missile turret in position to defend. Down goes the Widowmine, and it is going to get broed, but he does have a siege tank. This Widowmine doesn't look like it got too much damage, didn't even get a single kill with that activation, and Liberator is going to be activated, and this did nothing! It killed off 5 workers, so I guess I got that going for me. Actually, I think it only killed 4 workers, because he did send a scouting SCV to my base. Liberator is going to be picking everything off, and like I said earlier, Cyclone for the early defense here as well. And my follow-up for this is going to be 3 barracks as well as a tank, and like I said, that Banshee. This is super delayed because I got supply block for such a long time. But I do have my stem pack, and Cloak is about to finish. The nice thing about me getting supply blocked is that now I can activate Cloak whenever I need to for my Banshee. If you get your Cloak and then you get your Banshee and then you send it directly to his base, the Banshee will get to his base a little bit before the Cloak finishes, and because of that slight little timing, the Cyclone can get it. So this was actually a good thing. Maybe. Probably not. He already has missile turrets as well. I'm just trying to justify everything. It's not. It's bad. So, going to be trying to do whatever damage I can do. I do know that there are some units, but barely getting out of the range of that scan. But 2 scans, not the end of the world. I was extremely happy by the fact that he used 2 scans for that single Banshee. Again, like I said before, and I'll say it again, scans are really expensive. They are a lot of Marines every time you scan. In terms of units, we are even with our opponent, and we are getting up our 3rd CC a lot earlier than him. Actually, does he even have his? We are ahead in production facilities as well here. Probably just because he was making so many heavy tech units like this Cyclone and this Siege Tank. Also going for a Viking. Anyway, the Liberator is going to be coming into the main base, possibly. Where is this guy going? He decides to go back home. Okay. Well, I do have control of the watchtowers because I want to know if there is going to be a push coming. And the Liberator, what are you doing? I guess, huh? He probably had it hotkeyed with some other part of his army, and then he repositioned his army in his main base or something. And that's probably what did it. But in terms of production, we have +1 attack on the way. Our opponent is getting, or we are getting combat shields. And we do have 2 engineering bays, but none of them are researching. Oh, getting +1 attack, and there goes the armor right now. Liberator is going to be in position and going to be picking off a single SCV. Luckily for me, the Liberator's rate of fire is pretty slow, so you can get a few Marines and just stim in there. Combat shields is almost done. Let's see in terms of upgrades, how are we doing? We're ahead because we have stim pack, and that's around it. Our opponent's going to be getting +1 attack earlier than us, and we should have combat shields earlier than opponent, which is nice. And our 3rd base is up so much earlier than our opponent's, and he doesn't have too much map vision, which is great for us. He does clear out the watchtower with the Reapers, sees that I do have combat shields for my Marines, and he's going to be scouting out this 3rd base to see if I do have it yet, but I do have the one that is tucked away right between my main base and my natural. I'm going to be going for a push here, and let's see, in terms of units, we have 2 siege tanks to our opponent's 3, and only 22 SCVs compared to our opponent's 32, so in terms of army, our opponent is a little bit ahead of us, mainly just because we got this 3rd CC up earlier. And this was so annoying. I like scanned everything and then I didn't even get it. This was just really poorly played. You should probably just send these to this watchtower. That would be great for him. But in the meantime, I do have control of this watchtower again. Going to be moving out with these Marines. In terms of units lost, we're pretty far behind just because the Banshee didn't do too much damage, and the Widowmine drop didn't do much damage either. Our opponent is going to be going for the 4 medevac drop push. He does have his Marines, but he doesn't have combat shields yet. It should finish, but in the meantime, oh god, oh Jesus, those medevacs just got annihilated, and with that we are immediately back into this game. In terms of units, going to be placing down these siege tanks, should be in range of this bunker, and he should salvage that. Salvage it! But he has to just rally as many units as he can. There goes the salvage now. Combat shields is about to finish, and now he should be okay to deal with this attack. My army's not that big in size, and some random unit just got picked off by some siege tanks. Re-lifting these siege tanks, lift it up into the medevac, there we go. Trying to position them into a place where they can hit these Marines slightly out of range with this though. And he's picking up his own siege tanks and his medevacs. And I decide to just go home. I like this decision a lot. Getting our +2/+2 on the way. Our opponent's getting +2/+1 in the meantime, and I'm also getting +1 attack for my siege tanks, which is super important. I'm not sure if siege tank upgrades are like critical upgrades versus Marines. Let's do we have a siege tank that's not or that is sieged somewhere? In the main base, nope. I built a few turrets in my main base to help defend against drops, just because it's so difficult to defend. I think missile turrets are almost a necessity to defend, like, something, but I played another Terran versus Terran where you can just get, like, everything into your medevacs and just doom drop into the main base. That's always viable. You need a lot of missile turrets in order to effectively defend against that. Sensor towers are also extremely important, because you can place a sensor tower right here. You'll see pretty much everything that's going on. I do not see this attack though that's coming for me, and in the meantime my attack is going to be completely missing his. Going to be scouting around this area to see if he did take this expansion, and I look like I'm trying to position over here to attack his third base. I don't know about this attack though, and because of it, oh my god. Yep, it's going to become a base race. So we pick off his third CC immediately. Don't see anything, and pick off all the SCVs there as well. All of the units that were rallied to my third base were picked off immediately as well, and he should be able to pick off my third CC as well. Siege tanks are going to be landed in his natural expansion, and I'm just trying to get everything into position as quickly as I can, because I don't want him to be able to siege up and have all my units just funneling through this ramp. He doesn't siege up very quickly, and because of it we are going to be able to stem. Siege tank should be able to get a few Marine kills, but now that we're camping the production facility, we are in a good spot for now. He does hide a base up in this corner that I do not know about yet. I tried to start producing as much as I can, but this one siege tank, man, that got a lot of kills right there. Look at that. Look at all the Marine bodies. And all of his Marines are extremely low in HP. Does he have any medevacs anymore? No, he has no more medevacs. And he's trying to float all of his buildings away here. Oh, micro the medevac! Oh, Jesus, I think I lost one to a missile turret. How embarrassing. And it is now full base trade mode. Going to be killing off as many units as we can. I did get the head start on killing off everything. Killed off his third CC a little bit earlier than him. And luckily for me, he didn't kill off the natural expansion, so I am able to float it away. And do I try and build another CC anywhere else? Doesn't look like it. But he is going to be getting up a planetary fortress at this hidden expansion. And after I killed off all the buildings, I'm like, okay, well, he's not being revealed, so I don't exactly know what's going on. I think the real MVP for all of this, though, was this medevac, man. Just saving a medevac. If I had another medevac that I lost to this turret over here, that would be so helpful right now. Because all these Marines can just get one shot by a well-sieged up and positioned siege tank. And that's just a bad time, man. So in the production tab, we have a single supply depot. My opponent really can't do anything since he didn't get an orbital command. He just needs to produce non-stop supply depots, since we were killing off everything. And this single Marine, man, doing work. Keeping him supply blocked. I do have a command center on the production tab. Going to be placing it at his his old third expansion location, because all my units are at this position. So the easiest one I can defend is around this area in the bottom right hand corner. Placing my other CC over here just because I needed to hide it somewhere, and all of these minerals can be mined with the mule cooldown as well. Marine still doing some work here, and my opponent going to just be sieging up and trying to protect this base to the best of his ability. He's super supply blocked, so again, just continually building supply depots here. In the meantime, I'm trying to scout out everything. I do have a couple of refineries over here and over here that he didn't clean up, luckily for me. And because of it, it's just going to be harder for him to win a base trade scenario. And I'm supply blocked as well, so I need to just do what he's doing and constantly build these supply depots. I do have this watchtower, which is great, so I know if like there's something coming from this area, but I don't like this huge attack path, and this huge attack path I have no vision of. I guess I do have this watchtower, so I'm pretty defended, but this area, I should have a marine or something right here so I know if I need to defend or not. So I scan, I was scanning around the map to see where his base is, and then I see, okay, what do you have? And I was super happy when I saw that there's like no SCVs mining from this. So I'm like, oh, okay, since I saved all these SCVs, I'm in a pretty great spot right now. So I'm going to be using all the minerals that I mine to just continually make supply depots. My opponent is now just out of supply block and repositioning siege tanks from the looks of it to get towards the top of the ramp, gets hit by a siege tank, and then repositions everything back. But at this point, I think it's pretty much over for our opponent. He does have the Cyclone though, so he could possibly kill the medevac. Need to be super careful with that. And since I only saw this base, I think I was feeling pretty good. He doesn't have any medevacs to heal up any of these marines, so I wanted to be a little cheeky. I think I should be trying to reposition one of these tanks to pick off some of the marines here. But again, need to be careful because of the Cyclone. So just one shot and then pulling back, just because, again, Cyclones are scary. This marine, though, doing a lot of work. And down comes the GG. So, that was a little bit of back and forth. Probably should be scouting a little bit for where his army position is, just so we know where we need to defend and whatnot. Got a little bit of a head start in the base trade scenario and a little bit better with the pulling of our units and whatnot. So hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I will see you guys later.